Muscle loss after the age of 60 is one of the most underestimated challenges of aging. Many people assume it's an inevitable part of getting older, but that's not entirely true. What really happens is a gradual process called sarcopenia, the natural decline of muscle mass and strength as the body's hormonal, metabolic, and cellular functions change. However, science now shows that muscle loss is reversible when we understand how to properly nourish and activate the body's repair systems. Aging doesn't stop your ability to grow muscle. It just changes the way your body responds to energy, nutrition, and exercise. By the time most adults reach their 60s, they've already lost around 30% of their muscle mass compared to their younger years. This leads to fatigue, slower movement, balance issues, and even higher risk of falls. But the body is still capable of regeneration. Muscle tissue remains highly adaptable, even late in life. The secret lies in sending the right signals through nutrition, movement, and metabolic balance to remind your muscles that they're still needed. The first step is understanding that muscle is more than just tissue for strength. It's a metabolic organ that communicates with the rest of your body. Strong muscles regulate blood sugar, support brain health, and even help fight inflammation. When you start losing muscle, you don't just lose strength, you lose metabolic control. That's why older adults often feel more tired and gain fat even without changing their diet. The good news is once you start rebuilding muscle, energy and metabolism improve dramatically. Nutrition plays a critical role. Protein intake becomes even more important after 60 because your muscles need more amino acids to trigger repair. However, it's not just about eating more protein. It's about using it efficiently. This is where insulin sensitivity matters. As we age, our cells become more resistant to insulin, meaning nutrients don't get delivered as effectively to the muscles. By improving insulin sensitivity through fasting, low-carb eating, and exercise, you make your body more responsive to protein, vitamins, and minerals that fuel growth. Micronutrients like vitamin D, vitamin K2, and magnesium also influence muscle recovery. Vitamin D supports calcium balance and muscle contraction, while K2 directs minerals into bones and tissues, keeping them strong and flexible. These vitamins also help maintain mitochondrial function, the tiny power plants inside muscle cells. Healthy mitochondria mean better energy, faster recovery, and stronger muscles. Movement is the other key. You don't need heavy gym workouts to rebuild muscle. Consistent resistance training, walking, and body weight exercises are enough to stimulate growth. Muscles respond to tension, even gentle tension repeated regularly. The body sees movement as a signal to repair and strengthen. Pair that with proper recovery, hydration, and good sleep, and you create the perfect environment for muscle rebuilding. The idea that muscle loss after 60 is inevitable is outdated. Your body may age, but it still listens to the signals you give it. Feed it wisely, move intentionally, and support it with the right nutrients. With consistency, your muscles will respond, your metabolism will reignite, and your strength will return. The power to reverse muscle loss isn't found in youth. It's found in knowledge and daily action. Magnesium is one of the most essential minerals in the human body, often praised for its role in relaxing muscles, calming the nervous system, and supporting hundreds of enzymatic reactions. It's true that magnesium helps with muscle cramps, tension, and sleep quality, all of which are important, especially after age 60. But when it comes to actually rebuilding muscle, magnesium alone is not the full answer. It's a supporter, not the star player. Understanding where magnesium fits in the bigger picture helps you use it effectively while not relying on it as a single solution. Inside the body, magnesium acts as a cofactor in over 300 biochemical reactions. It helps regulate muscle contractions, nerve impulses, and energy production. Many people with low magnesium levels experience fatigue, weakness, and muscle stiffness because their muscles can't properly relax after contraction. Restoring magnesium can reduce these symptoms and improve recovery from exercise. However, magnesium's role is more about regulation than rebuilding. It maintains the conditions under which muscles can function smoothly, but it doesn't directly signal the body to build new muscle tissue, to rebuild muscle. Your body needs anabolic triggers, signals that tell your cells to grow and repair. These triggers include mechanical stress from movement, sufficient protein intake, hormonal balance, and key vitamins such as D and K2. Magnesium supports these processes, but it doesn't initiate them. Think of it like oil in an engine. Without it, the system breaks down, but oil alone can't make the engine run. You still need fuel, ignition, and the right timing. Another reason magnesium isn't the full answer is that modern aging bodies often have deeper nutritional imbalances. Vitamin D deficiency, for example, is extremely common after 60 and directly affects muscle performance, bone strength, and calcium absorption. Without enough vitamin D, the benefits of magnesium can't be fully realized because these nutrients work together in energy metabolism and neuromuscular function. Vitamin K2 also enters the picture by ensuring calcium is deposited in bones and muscles rather than arteries. When D and K2 are low, magnesium can't perform its supporting role effectively, no matter how much you take. Insulin sensitivity is another missing piece. Magnesium helps improve how cells respond to insulin, but that effect depends on diet and lifestyle. If you're eating high-carb, processed foods or snacking frequently, your insulin levels stay elevated. Chronic high insulin blocks muscle repair and increases fat storage. In that environment, magnesium can't reverse the problem. It's like adding water to a dry plant but keeping it in the dark. The deeper fix involves stabilizing insulin through intermittent, fasting low, carb nutrition, and balanced micronutrient intake. So yes, magnesium matters, but it should be viewed as part of a complete system. It keeps your muscles calm, your nerves steady, and your energy pathways smooth. But for muscle rebuilding, especially after 60, you need more than relaxation. You need activation. Pair magnesium with the power of vitamin DK2. Adequate protein, movement, and proper recovery. That's how you turn a mineral into momentum and transform maintenance into true renewal. When it comes to muscle health, magnesium often gets the spotlight for reducing cramps and improving relaxation. But if your goal is to rebuild muscle, especially after the age of 60, two vitamins outperform magnesium in both effectiveness and depth of impact: vitamin D and vitamin K2. These two work together as a dynamic duo, targeting the deeper biological systems that control muscle repair, bone strength, and mitochondrial function. They don't just help your muscles relax, they help them grow stronger from the inside out. Vitamin D is far more than a sunshine vitamin. It acts as a hormone that influences over 1,000 genes in the body, many of which are tied to muscle metabolism and cell regeneration. After 60, natural vitamin D production from sunlight declines sharply because aging skin loses its ability to convert UV light into active vitamin D. As a result, muscle fibers lose strength, balance deteriorates, and recovery slows. Low vitamin D levels are linked directly with sarcopenia, the gradual loss of muscle mass that often begins unnoticed. When vitamin D levels are restored, studies show improved muscle contraction, increased energy, and enhanced protein synthesis, the very foundation of rebuilding muscle tissue. But vitamin D doesn't work alone. This is where vitamin K2 steps in, turning good nutrition into great results. Vitamin K2 plays a key role in directing calcium, the mineral your muscles need to contract and your bones need to support them, to the right places. Without K2, calcium can drift into arteries, leading to stiffness and reduced circulation, which starves muscles of oxygen and nutrients. Vitamin K2 activates proteins that guide calcium into bones and muscle tissue, strengthening the entire structural system that supports movement and power. The synergy between vitamin D and K2 is what truly sets them apart from magnesium. Vitamin D boosts calcium absorption into the bloodstream, while vitamin K2 ensures that absorbed calcium is delivered precisely where it belongs. When these vitamins work in harmony, muscle fibers repair faster, bone density improves, and overall physical performance increases, even in older adults who have been inactive for years. There's another hidden benefit. Both vitamin D and K2 enhance mitochondrial function, the process by which your cells create energy. Strong mitochondria mean more energy for muscle repair, faster recovery after exercise, and less fatigue throughout the day. Magnesium supports this process indirectly, but D and K2 activate it more powerfully by influencing gene expression and improving oxygen utilization. In essence, they rebuild your muscles from the cellular level up. Taking these vitamins through diet and supplementation can make a profound difference. Fatty fish, egg yolks, and liver are good sources of vitamin D, while fermented foods like mito and aged cheese provide natural vitamin K2. However, most people over 60 need supplemental support since food alone may not be enough. So while magnesium plays an important supporting role, the heavy lifting for muscle regeneration comes from vitamins D and K2. They don't just calm your muscles, they awaken them. Together, they rebuild strength, restore energy, and give aging bodies a second chance at vitality. Insulin sensitivity plays a hidden yet powerful role in how the body builds and maintains muscle, especially after the age of 60. Most people think of insulin only in relation to blood sugar, but it's actually one of the most important hormones for muscle repair and energy regulation. When your body is insulin sensitive, it efficiently moves nutrients like glucose and amino acids into muscle cells where they can be used to generate energy and rebuild tissue. When insulin sensitivity is poor, that process breaks down, leading to muscle loss, fatigue, and fat gain. Understanding and improving insulin sensitivity is one of the most effective ways to preserve and rebuild muscle as you age. In simple terms, insulin acts as a key. It opens the doors of your cells to let nutrients in. When you're young and active, those doors open easily. Your cells are highly responsive to insulin. But over time, with age, stress, and poor dietary habits, those doors become resistant. The body produces more and more insulin to push the same amount of fuel into the cells, but most of it ends up being stored as fat rather than being used to nourish muscles. This state, known as insulin resistance, doesn't just affect blood sugar, it directly blocks the signals that trigger muscle repair. Healthy muscle tissue is one of the biggest consumers of glucose in the body. When your muscles are active and metabolically flexible, they act like sponges, soaking up nutrients efficiently. But when muscle mass decreases, as it naturally does after 60, insulin sensitivity declines too. It's a vicious cycle. Less muscle leads to more insulin resistance, and more insulin resistance makes it harder to build muscle. Breaking that cycle requires restoring insulin sensitivity through nutrition, fasting, and targeted movement. Fasting is one of the most effective ways to reset insulin sensitivity. When you stop eating for several hours, insulin levels drop, giving your cells a chance to reset their responsiveness. This process helps the body shift from burning sugar to burning fat, freeing up energy and reducing inflammation. Over time, fasting teaches your body to use fuel more efficiently, allowing nutrients to reach muscle cells where they're needed most. Exercise also plays a crucial role. Even gentle resistance training improves insulin sensitivity almost immediately because active muscles demand glucose and energy. Each time you move, your muscles become more responsive to insulin signal, improving how nutrients are absorbed and utilized. Combined with proper vitamins, especially vitamin D, which supports insulin receptor function, you create the perfect environment for muscle rebuilding. A diet low in processed carbohydrates and rich in healthy fats and proteins further supports this process. By reducing insulin spikes, you prevent your body from staying in fat storage mode and promote muscle preservation instead. The hidden truth is that rebuilding muscle after 60 isn't just about lifting weights or taking supplements. It's about controlling insulin. When insulin sensitivity is restored, your muscles wake up, metabolism improves, and your entire body begins to rejuvenate. It's not magic, it's simply the science of using your hormones wisely. Mitochondria are often called the powerhouses of the cell, and for good reason. These tiny structures are responsible for producing the energy your muscles, brain, and every other organ need to function. When it comes to rebuilding muscle, after the age of 60, mitochondria matter more than most people realize. They don't just create energy, they control how efficiently your body converts food into strength, stamina, and recovery. As you age, mitochondrial function naturally declines, which means less energy, slower muscle repair, and a greater tendency toward fatigue. But here's the good news. Mitochondrial health is not fixed. Just like muscles, mitochondria can be strengthened, multiplied, and revitalized with the right nutrients and habits. Inside every muscle cell are hundreds, sometimes thousands of mitochondria. Their job is to take in nutrients, especially fatty acids and glucose, and convert them into adenosine triphosphate or ATP, the body's main energy currency. When mitochondria are healthy, this process runs smoothly, giving you steady energy and fast recovery. When they're damaged or sluggish, you feel tired, weak, and unable to rebuild muscle effectively. Aging, chronic stress, poor diet, and toxin exposure can all damage mitochondria, but targeted nutrition and lifestyle strategies can reverse much of this decline. Vitamins D and K2, the same nutrients that outperform magnesium for muscle repair, also play a major role in supporting mitochondrial function. Vitamin D helps regulate genes involved in energy metabolism, while vitamin K2 supports mitochondrial efficiency and protects cells from oxidative stress. Together, they help your muscles use oxygen more effectively, a key factor in endurance and strength. When these vitamins are deficient, mitochondria can't produce energy efficiently, leaving your muscles underpowered no matter how much protein or magnesium you consume. Fasting is another powerful tool for mitochondrial renewal. During fasting, the body shifts into a repair mode called autophagy, where damaged mitochondria are broken down and replaced with new, more efficient ones. This cellular cleanup improves muscle performance, energy output, and metabolic health. That's one reason why older adults who practice intermittent fasting often report increased energy and better physical resilience. Exercise is equally essential for mitochondrial health. Every time you move, especially during resistance or aerobic training, your body signals muscle cells to create more mitochondria. This process, known as mitochondrial biogenesis, boosts energy capacity and helps delay the effects of aging. Even simple activities like brisk walking or light strength training can dramatically increase mitochondrial density over time. Mitochondria also thrive in a low inflammatory environment. Eating whole, nutrient-dense foods rich in omega-3 fats, antioxidants, and minerals reduces oxidative stress, protecting mitochondria from damage. Avoiding processed foods, sugar, and excessive carbohydrates helps maintain stable insulin levels, which further supports mitochondrial efficiency. When you prioritize mitochondrial health, your body rewards you with more energy, better focus, and stronger muscles. Rebuilding muscle after 60 isn't just about physical effort, it's about cellular vitality. The stronger your mitochondria, the more powerful your muscles become. Nurture them with proper nutrition, fasting, movement, and rest, and they'll return the favor by fueling you with lasting strength and youthful energy. Lifestyle integration is the key that ties everything together when it comes to rebuilding muscle and restoring vitality after 60. You can take all the right supplements, eat nutrient-rich foods, and understand every metabolic process in the body, but if your daily habits don't align with your biology, progress will stall. True transformation happens when lifestyle, nutrition, and mindset work in harmony. The body doesn't respond to one-time fixes. It thrives on consistent patterns that support recovery, energy, and growth every single day. Aging gracefully isn't about perfection, it's about rhythm. Your body operates on natural cycles, sleeping, eating, moving, and fasting. And the more you align with these rhythms, the stronger and healthier you become. For muscle rebuilding, that means balancing periods of activity with rest, feeding with fasting, and stress with recovery. When you combine proper nutrition with movement and mindful living, your body receives clear signals to repair and renew itself. Nutrition is the foundation of this integration. It's not just what you eat, but when and how you eat. Eating within a structured window, such as through intermittent fasting, helps regulate insulin and gives your body time to burn stored energy rather than constantly processing food. This metabolic rest improves nutrient absorption and allows vitamins like D and K2 to work more efficiently in repairing tissues. Focus on whole, real foods, quality proteins, healthy fats, and fiber-rich vegetables, and limit processed carbohydrates that spike insulin and slow muscle recovery. Movement is another essential part of lifestyle integration. Muscles respond to consistent stimulation, not intensity alone. Simple resistance exercises like bodyweight squats, walking, or light strength training build stability and stimulate muscle growth. Consistency is far more powerful than occasional effort. Even 10 minutes a day of deliberate movement signals the body to preserve muscle mass, improve circulation, and activate mitochondria. Combine that with stretching or yoga for flexibility and joint health, and you create a balanced, sustainable foundation for strength, Sleep and stress management often get overlooked, but they're just as critical. Growth hormone and testosterone, two key players in muscle repair, are primarily released during deep sleep. Chronic stress and poor sleep raise cortisol levels, which break down muscle tissue and block repair. Prioritizing rest, setting a consistent bedtime, and managing stress through breathing, meditation, or quiet time can dramatically improve your body's ability to rebuild. Finally, mindset plays a powerful role. Many people over 60 believe that muscle loss, fatigue, or stiffness are just part of aging, but that mindset limits what the body can achieve. The truth is, the body remains responsive to healthy change at any age. Integrating small, sustainable habits, one at a time, creates momentum and long-term success. Lifestyle integration isn't about doing more, it's about doing the right things consistently. When your nutrition, movement, rest, and mindset align, your body begins to heal naturally. Every small choice compounds into strength, stability, and renewed confidence. The path to rebuilding muscle after 60 isn't through shortcuts. It's through living in balance day after day.